focus on what's right in front of you. National University, supporting the whole you.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or current eligible GMC owners get 0% APR with a total value of over $11,000 on this Sierra 1500 model. We are professional grade.
Accidents happen, but getting justice shouldn't be a struggle. For over 50 years, we fought for people like you, winning cases and changing lives. If we don't win, you don't pay. Call the offices of Larry H. Parker today. We'll fight for you.
This is your reminder to thank the friend who gets McDonald's breakfast for the group while everyone else sleeps in.
It's a McMuffin kind of morning. Now get 2 sausage McMuffin with egg for $6.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time to drive smarter with high-tech features and excellent reliability. From the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a $239 per month lease on a 2025 Accord LX.
Hello? I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl in the good.
Why do we shoot baskets with paper balls? For the same reason we play scratchers from the California Lottery, because a little play can make your day.
I just absolutely fell in love with it. I really like that I don't have to sacrifice my gas mileage for sportiness. There's an eco mode, a normal mode, and a sports mode, depending on where I'm driving. We love taking road trips. We just came back from Joshua Tree, and it drove like a dream. My name is Bella Asali, and this is my Toyota Camry Sports Edition.
Now lease the all-hybrid Camry for just $309 a month. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Now, this is the Fox 11 Weekend News.
Ago, in this very chamber, I made a direct appeal. Give peace a chance. That call was not heeded.
Right now on Fox 11 Weekend News, the United Nations Security Council holding an emergency session after the U.S. attacks 3 of Iran's nuclear sites. Iran's U.S. ambassador says the U.S., quote, decided to destroy diplomacy, and that the Iranian military will now decide, quote, timing, nature, and scale of its response. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Susan Hirasuna. The world waiting for what's to come after President Trump announced on Truth Social Iran's nuclear stockpile was, quote, completely and fully obliterated. This comes just days after he said that he would decide within 2 weeks whether to get involved in the conflict between Iran and Israel. Iran officials have confirmed the U.S. hit sites Fordo, Isfahan, and Natanz, and called the actions by the Trump administration, quote, warmongering and lawless. In a press conference today, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth says the U.S. wants peace, but will do what's necessary to protect Americans.
The United States does not seek war, but let me be clear. We will act swiftly and decisively when our people, our partners, or our interests are threatened.
You're looking at video of the B-2 bombers returning home from yesterday's attack in Iran. The State Department is now ramping up travel warnings for Americans in the Middle East among growing fears of retaliation. Protests breaking out in response to the recent attack happening all over the country, including right here in Southern California. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf joins us live from outside the Wilshire Federal Building in Westwood with more on the protest happening there. Matthew.
Yeah, Susan, pretty quiet here right now. That protest wrapped up about an hour ago, but I'd estimate a couple of hundred people were here. If you want to go ahead and take a look at this video, this is just a couple of hours ago from Skyfox above. Hundreds of people here outside the federal building in Westwood. You can see some of the signs. Much of the crowd, people who believe the U.S. should not be getting involved in Iran, while some others were also here pro-Israel.
Dropping bombs, we're gratuitously invading countries, and it needs to stop, and the genocide in Gaza needs to stop.
In a country that is dilapidated, we are suffering, we're poor, we have hundreds of thousands of homeless people on the street, and we don't need to be sending our tax dollars to Israel.
I think it's pretty much a waste of resources, and I also feel bad for all these guys out here who probably have families.
Death is never the answer. Killings are never the answer. Bombings are never the answer. You can't get a solution out of killing innocent people. You know?
I think a lot of these people don't know what they're talking about. I think they're brainwashed, some of them, but they don't know the truth about what's going on in Iran. My parents both grew up there. My grandpa was thrown in jail for no reason, simply because he was Jewish and because...
I have family members that were killed by the Islamic Revolution.
Yeah.
So some differences of opinions while we're out here watching this protest, but we're outside the federal building. You can see some Marines, the National Guard. They've been staged here now for a couple of weeks with the other recent protests that have been taking place across LA. But we'll have much more on today's protest tonight at 10 o'clock. Reporting live, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Thank you very much, Matthew. All right, developing in Orange County, shocking new video of ICE agents detaining a gardener in Tustin. He's undocumented, but his 3 sons are U.S. Marines, and one of them is talking to Fox 11's Gina Silva.
This video showing Customs and Border Protection agents arresting and punching Orange County gardener Narciso Barranco is sparking public outrage.
There was one guy that he was actually telling me, why you hit him so hard? You don't have to do that.
IHOP manager Guillermo Villarreal says Narciso was working on the landscaping outside the restaurant in Tustin on Saturday morning when suddenly masked men approached. He says Narciso panicked and ran.
They throw something on his eyes.
Mace?
Yes. And he started coming this way. That's when everybody got into him, and they put him down on the street. And one of the guys was beating him so hard. It was sad to see that.
Why were 4 or 5 people holding him down, pepper spraying him? They hurt his shoulder, and his shoulder looks like it was dislocated.
Alejandro Barranco is one of 3 of Narciso's sons. Alejandro is a Marine vet who served in Afghanistan, and his 2 younger brothers are also Marines, stationed at Camp Pendleton.
I love what I did, and I love serving my country. I think my brothers do as well. And it just infuriates us that our own country is doing this to our own people. What we fight for is like justice, and we need a better pathway to fix all of this.
Aside from being undocumented, Alejandro says his father has no criminal record. He believes Narciso was racially profiled.
They didn't have any type of warrant for my dad. I know that. And I think they just chased him. They just saw him working. It's a landscaping job, so they probably just assumed.
On Sunday, Alejandro finally spoke with his father, and he says it was a heartbreaking call.
He sounded scared. He sounded like he was crying.
He says even after the arrest, after being punched and detained, his father was worried about finishing the job.
The first thing he said is if he can go finish his job for him because he didn't finish leaf blowing the parking lot. And it's just crazy to me that he just got beat, he got detained, and that's all he's thinking about right now.
The family has launched a GoFundMe to help cover legal costs as they fight to keep Narciso from being deported. Through it all, Alejandro says he's holding on to hope.
I believe it's going to reach the right people. I believe there is going to be a change, and I hope it's soon.
Gina Silva, Fox 11 News.
Gina tells us that Barranco's son just called her and said his father hasn't received any medical treatment, food, or water since being detained.
Hey, no les abra! Are you serious, bro?
That's a moment when 37-year-old Hope Garcia found himself down on the ground and ultimately in Border Patrol agents' custody. Garcia claims once the agents saw his ID, they knew he was a U.S. citizen, but that didn't stop them from putting him into a van along with in Hollywood. He spent the night at the Metropolitan Detention Center and was released Friday. So far, he tells me he's not been told what charge he'll face or if he'll be charged at all. All right, we're going to go now to Star Harvey with the weather. I liked it. What did you think?
I absolutely loved it. This is my type of weather. You know, it was sunny out there. We did get some temperatures that were cooler. And again, all of that associated